Hey, Brett here. Actual situation. I don't feel like stretching. So I'm going to do two different techniques to get myself sort of wound down. I've been playing this game on my phone. I'm wired. And so before I get into deep flexibility, which is more mental than physical at first, I'm going to shake myself out and breathe it down. So, two things you can do, and this actually just works in general. Shaking. I talked about this recently. Shaking is going to stimulate your lymphatic system. It's going to take the interstitial fluids and move them through your system. So this is really good to clear out your system. Also, you're moving your joints. You're putting a bit of tension on your muscles. You're moving your muscles. You're loosening your body up. This is actually just really good. And it generally is going to help you sort of get from your chest down into your belly. And really, we want to breathe into the belly. So that's the second part. I'm going to be breathing into my belly, and that's going to stimulate the vagus nerve that's in my belly. When you stimulate the vagus nerve, it turns down the sympathetic and brings up the parasympathetic nervous system. So it's going to calm me down. Now, if you can't do the shaking thing, 5 breaths a minute, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Just do that and expand your belly when you inhale. Inhale to your nose and through your nose, expand your belly. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. You can constrict your throat, but that's not necessary. Just in for 6, out for 6. In for 5, pause, out for pause 1, out for 5, down, then pause 1. Oh, okay. I'm a little stimulated, but that's still, I'm tingling all over. So that's a good sort of little start to a reset. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of, where's that pillow? Well, I'll just use this. Circle walking to sort of get myself a little more wound down. That'll work. Okay, so I'll talk through what I'm doing. I'm going to be here just a second before I actually start doing much more movement. So feet parallel, knees are slightly bent. I'm going to take my sacrum, I'm going to push it down, and it will also tend to bring the fontanelle forward and tend to level my pelvis. Now, that's called the first bow in Tai Chi. What I've also done is my ligaments are engaged. So now my feet up to my hips are rooted to the ground, and I'm gripping with my feet. So this is bow 1 in Tai Chi. It's the beginning of rooting to the ground. Also, it's really handy for engaging your pelvic floor. Next, fontanelle. There's a soft spot on babies' heads, or you take the tip of your ears, go to the top, so it's back, say, third of the head, just right here. I'm going to imagine there's a balloon, and I'm going to push it up, and that's going to extend my thoracic spine. And also, if you notice, my weight shifted that way. We'll do that again. Okay, so now, as I do that, I'm going to next relax the ligaments on the inside of my arms here by medial rotation. Medial rotation. And what that'll do is it'll allow me to take my sternum and push my pelvis, or something, push my spine down into my pelvic floor. So again, feet, knees, tuck, flatten, stretch, twist, relax. Now, another thing I'm doing is I'm also, believe it or not, I'm externally rotating both my thighs. So I'm opening up right here. So now I'm fully engaged. Now, you don't have to do nearly as much as I'm doing to get a lot of benefit out of circle walking. There's a whole lot of benefit in twisting your spine. Before I started Tai Chi, I could barely move my back because I fell off a train bridge in 1981. Also, I had severe damage in my, I think it was C4, because of whiplash. In, I want to say that was 86, something like that, the 80s. Good time for REM. But twisting your spine is really good for you. And the more you do simply this, the better it's going to get. So your body adjusts to how you use it. If you start twisting your spine more, your body will allow you to twist your spine more. We are using our conscious brain, picking an intention, a movement that we're not used to doing, and then we're doing it for a while and rewiring the muscles and the brain. Okay, I'm going to do a couple, just trying to keep this in my head. So I'm going to practice the linking set. That's one. This now starts palm change two. That's a fascial grab. Strike. Starting with palm change three. Another fascial grab. Four. Five. I'm going to not add the kicks. Six. Seven. And then eight. Head to flower. Lonely goose flies out. Pair of geese fly together. And right side, inside. Bagua is circular. Think polar versus linear. Tai Chi is linear. And here we go. Number one. So on the heel, cut, clear. Wait. Yeah, that's right. I'm in the set. Cut, clear, carry, left shutter, push out the moon. Now we start to number two. Pair of geese fly together. Grab, strike. Number three. Block, strike, clear, fascial grab, pull, foot strike, clear, fascial grab. Four, chin, fake to the groin, clear, pick the cherries. Let's see, this is five, I think. Yeah, five. Strike, throw, kick, press. I'm doing a couple of extra presses. I don't know why. Let's see, five, six, six. Okay, six. Strike. And then clear, fascial grab, strike. And then block, strike. Block, strike. This is seven. And then eight. Grab, headbutt, scissor step, strike, groin strike. Did I mess up somewhere? I think I messed up somewhere. That's fine. Okay, well, enough time in Bagua. I'm going to start with stretching the front of my body. I'm not going to use anything for right now. I'm just going to, this is a carpeted floor. It's pretty soft. It's wooden carpet, so I'm going to regret this maybe. Okay. So when you stretch the front, you're actually helping on the back bend. Why does your front get tight? Do you sit? Do you drive in a car? Your front's getting tight. This is now stretching, and that's going to help reverse the effects of sitting all day long. Your body, and I've already said this, but this is really important, and it's genuinely the case. If you want to change, here's the secret to change. You do something different. Honestly, as pithy as that is, if you want to change, you just fucking do something different. That's it. So you're stretching your front now. You've been sitting all day. Your body's confused. It doesn't want to do this. It's uncomfortable. So now we're going to breathe to relax. This time, instead of in for 6 and out for 6, in for 4 and out for 8. And in doing so, you'll slow your heart rate down. That is a standard response to such breathing patterns. You'll slowly stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system and your rest and digest, which means while your body's going, no, 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 you're calming it down, saying, no, let's go, let's go. And that's what we're doing. And then, you know what? I came back too quick. I'm not in any hurry. This is fine for right now. There's a minor pinch in my lower back. If I wait another 30 seconds, a minute, unless I got plenty of time left, the pinch will go away. And I'm getting a good stretch, a real good stretch right now. So my ankles. This is really good because when you have really strong ankles, you stretch like this and you work on your ankles. It improves your balance because you're going to have better control. Also, because of this kind of stuff and also Tai Chi, I roll my ankles. When I used to do it, it used to hurt like heck. I mean, just and it would sometimes really hurt for hours. I sometimes roll my ankles and it doesn't bother. In fact, I do qigong where you roll the ankle and then you stretch with the rolled ankle. So that's the difference. When you actually start using your body in different ways, your body responds by saying, "Okay, we can do this now." It's really that simple. Let's say you're bedridden. Can you shake your upper body? Because guess what? The shaking I did at the beginning, shaking your upper body, remember, better doesn't mean good, it means less bad. And you do what you can with what you have. And you take control of as much as you can. And the more you do that, the further you extend. Control's the wrong word, but certainly influence. Oh, this is a bit tight right now. My ankles are none too happy. Are they, kitty? I'm not gonna lie. Petting the kitty while in something like this pose is not necessarily a good idea. Man, I'm jabbery tonight. Still a bit wired from playing that dang game. Okay, I think it's enough of that. Oof. I don't want to do too much of that. I'm not used to that yet. I've just only recently been able to go down that far comfortably. Oh, sorry, buddy. Hey, you. Now I can pet you a little bit more aggressively. I'm still getting a really, really good stretch in my ankles, and my knees are still not entirely happy, and the front of my legs are getting a good stretch. Now I'm going to actually do another stretch. Do I want to do that one next? I wasn't going to. It's a problem. When I don't have a plan, I just go all over the place, and I don't have a plan. Actually, I do know something I want to do, but oof, this is going to be painful. Okay, so next pose I'm going to try, and just for 2 minutes on this one. I may not be able to do it at all, actually. Ooh, I gotta get out of this one first. I just want to get my toes stretched a bit. And given that I just did this pose for 5 minutes, oh man, I'm not sure I'll be able to do it. I might have to come back to it and, well, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Let me check, see if I can do it. However, you know what? I am going to, since this will work. All right, here we go. So I want to curl my toes under. This is going to stretch my toes, stretch the arches of my feet. And actually, stretching your feet is directly related to your calves because on your ankles, actually, this doesn't feel so bad. I'll see if I can do this for, let's just see if I can do it. I'll see if I can do it for that long. Okay, so you have two tendons that go, I think, yeah, that's right, around the ankle on either side. And so your calf and the arch of your foot are a pulley and very strong pulley because tendons are really, really strong. So when you stretch your foot, you're actually working on your calf and vice versa. So what happens when you wear a foot with an elevated shoe? And you know, most sneakers will have an elevated shoe. Your body responds to how you use it. So if your foot's flat, your body does that. But as you raise your foot, you're shortening you're basically compressing this side and extending this side. And so your body is going to change over time. It's going to make it harder, for example, for you to lower your bum into a squat without bringing your ankles up. This is a great pose to reverse the effects of that. And actually, it's pretty comfortable once you have done it for a while, but um, it's pretty awful until you get used to it. In fact, I told a fellow Tai Chi student, she was asking me for something that would, this was the pose for her, and I gave her the full version of the pose, which includes arms in prayer pose behind your back, which I'll go ahead and do since I'm here. And she did it once, came back to me a week later, and she said, and I quote, actual quote, "Brett, why do you hate me so much?" Not with that kind of affliction, but she really did like. She really the pose was exactly what she needed, and that's the problem. If the pose is exactly what you need, then it's really gonna make you want to do it. The pose is gonna make you have to want to do the pose. But I can tell you that had I not done the shake, even though I'm a little still wired, I wouldn't have been doing stretching for a very. I didn't want to stretch actually, but now I'm totally into it and it's all good to go. So I start my morning off with an intermittent fast, give or take 14-ish hours, sometimes 16, sometimes 12. And then I put together a salad with a bunch of sprouted stuff, fresh tahini, coconut oil, olive oil. It's a whole bunch of shit. 25, I counted today, it was like 26 ingredients. Lots and lots of water. And I start the day that way. And now I'm going to finish the days with shaking and stretching. Speaking of stretching, so my shins are stretching slightly early in this pose. Normally it's about 4 minutes in. And so I'll see how long I can last in this pose, but I'm doing okay so far. My left toe, I need to make an adjustment. There's got a little bit of a hot spot on my left toe. And if you get one, you know what I mean. If you feel a hot spot, adjust it. There we go. Oof. Gotta let it ride. See if I can. Okay. Oh man. This is really intense, but it's not acute. Though that is a bit too much right there, I think. There you go. Whew, I made it. Oh, ah, okay. Ah, that's pretty good already. Oh, those toes aren't so bad, actually. Man, okay, my toes are curling again. Wow. Go back on those for a second. That was a bit unexpected. Wow. All right. So, a pose I have not done for a few days. This is a really good pose. If you sit all day, this is another great pose. So, there's two forms of it, and I did the first form for I want to say let's say I did about 100 times for 5 minutes at a time. So over a year and a half. Once or twice a week, mostly like once a week, sometimes twice. And it was great for my hips, or sorry, for my hamstrings, but it did absolutely nothing for my shoulders. Then I saw an adjustment in the coaches program, which I took a while back. It was great. And two vert times with this pose, 5 minutes, it actually released the damage to my back from falling off a train bridge 17 feet um, onto solid dirt in 1981. So that's this pose. What I'm going to do is it's called wide dog. So you start in a down dog. So I'll get the down dog. Okay, so the first thing you do from a down dog is you get narrow dog. Bring your feet up a little bit. Then your feet are wider than the mat. And the idea here is right now I've got a nice hamstring stretch, but it's just the way my body is and still my shoulders are tight in certain ways. It's hard for me to get much into my shoulders. I'm getting a little bit. Maybe if I go here. So I can almost get something here, but if I elevate my hands a little bit, it's difference is night and day. I can turn it into an exceptionally intense stretch. But this stretch also released my trapezius muscles. So it went from where if I wanted to turn my head to look for driving, I had to turn my shoulder. Went from there to this pose released my trapezius muscles that were just sort of frozen. So great pose if you give it time. So I'm going to give it time. I'm going to give myself a drink of water. So same idea, except I'm going to have my hands elevated. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to target about here on my back and really relax this. And so what's going to happen initially, I'm going to be sort of like this, an opening and an opening, but eventually I'm also going to open like this. And that's near the end when it starts to really open and expand the chest. Notice what's that going to help me do? I've stretched here, I'm stretching here. So I don't have any idea how far I can back bend, and that wasn't very particularly far. But the bottom line is, it's a heck of a lot farther than I could do it 2 years ago, like 4 times. I don't know, and that's why I haven't had much back pain for the last 4 years. My feet are going to slide. Wait, actually, you know what? Let's do the real one. Okay, so I'm just gonna basically have my hands here, and then I might bend my legs to get something between my shoulders, but I'm going to be a little bit further apart. Sorry, Mr. Mushroom. I'm gonna come a little further back. There. Give myself some room to sneak back. Okay, so okay, right there, I've already got a nice start for a stretch between my shoulder blades. Now at this point, I can tilt my pelvis, or what I might do instead is I'm going to bend my legs, and I'm going to sort of lower until like right there. Now there's a lot more pressure between my shoulder blades, and if I just want to stay here, that's great. And honestly, this is pretty good. But if you come up, if I come up really slowly, I typically can keep that feeling between the shoulder blades and also even go a little bit deeper. And I've still got a nice sensation of stretch. And I'm going to go do that again. Now, for me, and I would say this pose, yes, it can target the hamstrings, and it's fine if it does, but you really want this one for your shoulders. And the reason I say that is your hamstrings are easy to target. Lots of good stretches for your hamstrings. So the hamstrings are easy to get on this one once you get good at getting your shoulders just right. But I would strongly encourage you to work on your shoulders. If you're like typical most people, you hold tension in your shoulders. There's a trifecta of poses, this being one of them. And then the other two are cliffhanger and pretzel arms. And if you are interested, look on my channel or look at the Science of Stretching program from Yoga Body Wednesday evening or the third day of the classic program. And the one thing I would say is it's great as is, but I prefer to do the order a little differently because cliffhanger is an intense pose, and I like to do it last because that makes it even more so. In fact, having said that, I kind of feel like doing it. So, might as well. Guess this is going to be a shoulder night. Okay, that's a bit much on my shoulders. I'm getting really good stretch in my shoulders. Really got my rotator cuffs open up and so on. But, oh, that's a bit tender. Okay. Hello, Katie. Okay, to come out of this, I'm going to drop one hand first. It doesn't matter left or right. I'm going to support myself, and then I'm going to drop the other hand. Turn off this alarm. And then depending on what your next pose is, whatever you want to do, you want to get your body back into sort of a neutral position. Standing, for example. Let's go ahead and go to standing. So I don't want to use my back because it's really quite, I mean, it's very stretched right now. So I'm going to notice I've got my left hand above my knee. I'm using it to support, right hand on the other. And there you go. And, don't listen to me. Just go ahead and rip a muscle once or twice, and then you'll figure it out on your own. At least that was my approach. Also, I mean, I'm 58 and I just absolutely devastated my body. I weighed 250 pounds in 2015. So, I've done serious damage to my body. So I'm an old guy on the inside in some ways. All right. So the next pose I'm going to go ahead and do is against the wall. And let's see if water will do it. Uh, this is the most intense pose in the set, as far as I'm concerned. And the reason for it is because most of us hold so much tension in our shoulders. And the one thing about this is once you go beyond about 3.5 minutes, at least in my experience, if you start to slip, it hurts. Like, it reverberate hurts. And it can actually knock you out of the pose because what happens is you sort of jolt, your muscles spasm, and you're already intense in the pose, and then you get a cascading reflex response. So the sarcomeres just go, whoosh, muscles tighten up because they think there's something going on. Now, I haven't had that fully happen, but I have had something like that close happen. I have had it in other poses, not in this pose. Okay, so now my hands are nice and sticky, just water. And, you know, maybe I'm being a little superstitious, but I really don't know that I want to. Actually, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm being ironic. I'm being silly. 60 hertz, 17 hertz. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, my head is now pretty much touching the wall. Reach up. And my hands are hopefully about the same height. And I'm going to rest into my shoulders. Now, how far my hands are apart, I vary it. Sometimes I go a little more narrow, sometimes I go a little more wide. But notice the creases of my elbows are pointing up. My elbows are not involved in this at all. My hands are sticking to the wall, and I'm close to the wall. And the reason you want to do that is as you start to fall towards the wall, you sort of push your hands against the wall, and it makes it so that they tend to move less. That and the stickiness. Okay, so right now, the inside of my shoulders are getting stretched. My armpits are getting stretched. I like to intensify this pose, and so I curl my toes under, and then I just push a little bit. And that push just a slight amount of pressure, and it opens my chest up just a touch. Ooh, that's a bit much. That is a bit much. So, in addition to getting a cascading sort of spasm of the sarcomeres from a sliding, if you go a little too deep, same thing can happen, and that's what just happened. And I had to come back out because my shoulders were starting to say, this is wrong. My hands are starting to slip, so I want to come up just a little bit. Hello, Chesh. Oh, I really don't want you helping me on this postcode. No, 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 I know. Go, dude. Seriously. Thank you so much. I will pet you gratuitously momentarily, buddy. I promise. Dunka. Oh. Full relaxation is a physical manifestation of the idea of surrender. Okay, sir. As promised. I need a break between this and the next. So you, kitty, are the liminal space for the moment. The space between that pose and the next. He is the twilight zone. Do, 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 do. Is that right? Oof, oof. Just a second. Yeah, that was a bit much. Mm, It's fine. Don't worry about it, dude. You weren't going to knock it over. Okay, I'll come back for more. Half side splits, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to target the groin or the hamstring? Wrong side. So foot turned in, groin, toes up, hamstring, hamstring. Last time I did groin, so I'll do hamstring this time. Let's see, where is there? It is. And oh, I'm at it. Oh, bit much on my toes. And on the off chance, where is that thing? There it is. No, that's not it. I do know where it is. There it is. I had moved it for the puppy, so I'm sure it smells great. That's approximately good enough. So, as I was saying, I can do this and then open and wow, whew, man, that actually might be the way I do it. Just because, in fact, I'm going to do it this way. I just said I was going to do it this way because that gets the hamstring. Well, heck, you know what? Why choose? I'm going to do it. I'll do 3 minutes both ways each. So that'll be one, two. That'll be another 12 minutes of stretching. That's enough time. So I'll start with hamstrings. Alexa, volume up. Mm. Oh boy. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh boy, that's a lot. That was only 3 minutes. Now, let me think about this. Do I want to alternate sides or do I want to just go into this? Boy, man, I don't know if I can do that. Do it the other way. Let's try it. Don't hesitate. Go into the unknown. I don't want to do this, so that's exactly why I'm doing it. Nope. I want to turn that over. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the problem is, whoa. That was splendid. All right, other side. I'll flip. I should miss the kitty. I'll be close enough. All right, heal up. So again, heal up. More hamstring. No, actually, wait. This heel is a bit tender. And so I think what I'm going to do is I will do, yeah, that'll work, I think. No, no, that's not going to work. Wait, no, that'll work. Yeah, that will work. That's right. They should stick ish together. Yeah, that works. Okay, good. Oh God, right there. Oh, oh, something started to give right at the end there. I wanted to ride that out. Oh man, but damn. Oh, I am mildly debilitated for just a moment here. Ugh. Oh gosh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Whew, bit of an endorphin rush then for that. Wow. Whew. There was a huge release. Just, I mean, it's just the whole wave, the whole muscle, just like right now. My God, this feels like there's nothing there. It just went, and I could. It had a shape, a very specific shape. I could entirely envision exactly where in the muscle it was doing it. I'm sure my envisioning was entirely full of crap, but I knew exactly where it was, at least in my head. But it was certainly on the backside there. Oof, that's going to be a tough act to follow. Here we go. Actually, philosophically, don't attach. Yeah, in my head, it was a great experience. Oh well, move on. Next, what have you experienced for me lately? There we go. Okay. Right there. Ooh, right there. Stop. Ooh. All right. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I think that's late enough. Ah, yeah. Okay, my leg does not want to come back straight. So do this, and then this. There we go. Okay, it works again. Yep, my leg's not going to fall off tonight.